with what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for life, God, family, same things. This this weekend, especially with Mother's Day, made me as I get older, I'm about to turn 45. I'm realizing how grateful I am that my mom is still here. I have friends that their mom isn't here anymore, and so you know, growing up, basically, my mom was my only parent really around. So uh, having my mom still be here is such a blessing. And then seeing how my kids interact with their mother and their mothers, that's always good. I love that as well. So grateful to the moms out there. Keep doing you. And yeah, I'm here with Corey. What are you grateful for?
Oh man, it's a long list, you
Uh,
know. First, I'm gonna give a happy belated Mother's Day to everybody, all the wonderful mothers out there doing best they can do, which is typically an amazing job.
yeah.
I suppose I would say I'm grateful for everything, you know, especially my kids. That made my heart tender. Um, I would say all my trials and tribulations, prison. I'm grateful for it. You know, it made me and educated me. It was my university. You know, all the people that came in my life and out my life. You know, I'm just grateful to be here.
Mm,
I'm a person who probably should have been in the dirt, but I'm here talking to you. You know, that's a
that is a
blessing.
blessing.
God has kept me protected for this path I've been walking.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Kids, it's amazing. Right when you said that, my daughter did the same thing to me when I was 24. My
Hmm.
daughter being born, it was just like, oh, I can't be that guy. I got to be different. So it's amazing how kids will tenderize you quick, man. This
Yeah.
is amazing. All of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute, I'm looking at life differently.
Yeah.
This is crazy. How old are your kids?
Oh man. So I have a 20-year old.
Mm,
I have a 19-year old, and I have a 7-year old, and I have a 14-year old.
mm.
And I have a lot more kids, but not my kids.
Yeah, that.
My
Well, that's
little
how that goes. Yeah,
cousins
yeah,
and
yeah,
my
yeah.
niece and nephews. And I'm a person who I grew up. My father passed at an early
Hmm.
age. I think I was 11.
Mm,
My mom passed when I was 16.
mm,
So for me, I enjoy being there for other people.
mhm,
It's something that weighs heavy on me.
mhm,
So I love helping them out. My nephew right now is having some issues, and
mm,
his mother called on me, and it feels good to just step into his
mhm.
life and get him in order, you know.
Yeah.
So I got him Uber, pick him up from home in the morning, get him to school on time.
Mm,
I'm a guardian at the school now. Uh, Uber, pick him up from school and bring him to work.
mm,
I have him working at my Juicy Organics at my health bar,
mhm,
and he loved it. You know, you should have seen I seen the proudness on his face when he served his first customer. He's like, I served my first customer and I made the drink.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, you know. I said, how that feel? He said, it felt good. I said, yeah, that felt a lot better than running from the police,
Mm,
right? So,
facts.
yeah, yeah, it feels good to be something for other people.
It's something that we talk about on here all the time. It's something that I hear a lot of uh, people talk about out in the world is always being in service. Find something that you truly love to do and do that in service of others. And that will fulfill you in ways that nothing else possibly can. And it sounds like your nephew, that's exactly what your nephew discovered right there. Like do something that you actually enjoy doing in service of others and like from top to bottom. And it's like that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So I was gonna wait to jump into the that business, but why don't since we're already here, can you tell us um about this business, the juicing business?
Oh, the juicing business. So we had that business for quite a while, some time
Mm-hmm.
now. Um, we didn't have a physical space, so we
Mm,
did the CrossFit games every year. which was pretty amazing,
Mm-hmm.
And then when they stopped doing them here in Dane
Mm-hmm.
County due to us not having an international airport,
Mm-hmm.
um, we decided to actually do a space for it.
Mm-hmm.
And we got that space on the Capitol at 5 North Pickney.
Mm-hmm.
And in that space, we have over 100 different teas.
Ooh.
We have smoothies, which is our original deal. I had some Israelites come down from Chicago and teach me the juicing game
Mm-hmm.
since they're the original juicers of the
Mm-hmm.
world. And then I added my twist and my own thing, and turned out pretty good, I must say.
Mm.
So we got smoothies, we got vegan pizzas, gluten-free
Oh.
pizzas. We have power bowls, potato based, rice
Mm.
based, spinach based. We have everything from ashwagandha to, all type of herbs and
Mm-hmm.
leaves and teas and you name
Mm.
it. I'm still learning stuff as I go,
Yeah.
because it's a lot to it. Um, so yeah, we wanted to create something that was healthy for the people.
Mm.
Everything I'm doing now at this stage of my life is creating healthy situations
Mm.
for the people.
Yeah.
So we wanted to stick to that. And,
Mm-hmm.
it's been going pretty well. It's a really beautiful space, intimate space where adults can go and enjoy themselves with their partners or
Mm.
friends and things like that. But it's also a very healthy space, and we deliver, and it's good stuff.
Man, that's incredible. What is so? I didn't. How can I? Throughout my life, I've heard about people juicing or doing it themselves or something, but it really, I don't think it hit me until, and it's funny, until the locks came out. When, like, I heard about people doing it, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, okay, it sounds
Yeah,
cool. It's like
yeah.
some soccer mom is like, oh, I'm making my own little juice. I'm doing this. And as a fighter, smoothies were a quick way to get protein. So you make a smoothie or whatever. But I didn't think about it any more than that. It's like, okay, I'm training for a fight. I need to make sure I'm hitting my protein numbers here. I'm doing this here.
Yeah.
But then yeah, Styles comes out. This is what we're doing. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's all. So now that's a whole different community now that you're touching. Like,
It is.
we're wait, what?
It
Like,
is.
this is, if I got to be honest, like I said, soccer moms. Like, I'm used to white suburban moms
Hmm.
talking about this. And
Hmm.
so what what sort of drew you into that?
Um. Well, I think everybody deserves to be healthy.
Yes,
First
sir.
of all, whether
Mm-hmm.
you're poor or wealthy,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think everybody deserves to have a nice space that is healthy. Because when I go to a lot of nice spaces, a lot of spaces that's healthy,
Mm-hmm.
the space itself is just a little basic,
Mm-hmm.
because it is a hard business to succeed in
Mm-hmm.
because everyone is not used to eating healthy.
Mm.
McDonald's is a lot easier to get to.
Yeah.
So I want to create a space that was beautiful and healthy,
Mm-hmm.
and for people who are disciplined and want to
Mm.
live longer,
Mm.
deserve a space that's memorable.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
What? How did you get into it? How did? What was?
Oh
What?
man.
How did you? You already talked. You talked about being grateful, learning lessons. You maybe not being able to be here. Like you're.
Hmm.
It's like, whoa. I'm kind of grateful just for being here. So,
Yeah.
what brought you into that? That seems like a complete
Oh
different
man.
path.
For me, my auntie,
Mm.
she raised me really healthy. We used to go to Asian herb doctors down on 47th, right off the expressway.
Okay.
And when I was a kid, and
Mm.
we always had all these different herbs and stuff in the refrigerator, all
Mm-hmm.
this different stuff and teapots that smell the
Mm-hmm.
whole house, and I just wanted to bring that back to relive the things
Man.
that was installed in me at an early age in
Mm-hmm.
life, right? Which is being healthy,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have so many friends at this age, I'm 48 now. So a lot of my friends are going through health issues,
Mm-hmm.
almost kidney failure, lung issues, diabetes. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you name it, they're going through it, but there's remedies for that besides a pill at the doctor, you
Mm.
know. And I just want to be able to educate people on how they can live a healthy lifestyle
Hmm.
without a bunch of medication from the doctor,
Yeah.
you know. My aunt is a person who the doctor calls her for advice, you know, because a lot of these doctors just know what they were taught to know,
Yes,
you
sir.
know. And they know it's other ways. And
Hmm.
so yeah, I just think um, having those things installed in me in the early age just
Mm.
really helped me want more of that. And I'm a person who's how can I say this? I am a meat eating recovering addict. Cause I love me some lamb chops, you know, I love me some chicken thighs, you know. But at the same time, I post these videos of cows slaughtering humans and making meals out of humans. And
Mm.
how do we feel about that, you know,
Mm.
to do that to animals and treat them in such a way,
Hmm.
um, I think in an unnecessary way, you know.
Hmm.
We can live without that, you know. And
Mm.
I just, I don't know, I'm trying. It's a process. So everybody out there who's trying to eat healthy, just, you know, one step at a time, you know, one day a week at a time. Next you know, it's 3 days a week, and then before you know it, you know, you're living a very healthy lifestyle, and it becomes a
Mm.
habit. So yeah.
Man, I would love to get you in a room with the who are they? The carnivore diets.
Mm.
So that would be an interesting conversation because for me, I listen to both sides. It remind sometimes it reminds me of political debates
Mm.
because you have everybody has great points, but it's like trying to figure it out for yourself. So you're no longer eating meat? None.
No, don't get me up in line now. I'm a quite honest person. I just enjoy a healthy lifestyle the
Mm,
best I can, but every now and then, yes, I will have. I don't know if I can live without lamb chops, you know, but it is weighing in on me. I
mm-hmm,
am starting to see why I shouldn't be,
mm,
um, and I'm educating myself as I
mm-hmm.
go. But it's a process, you
Yeah,
know. It's like telling someone, you know, stop smoking cigarettes; they're not good for you, and they're like, I need this cigarette for the
yeah,
moment. You know, I'm going through
yeah,
this, I'm going through that. It's better this than doing something that would kill me instantly,
yeah.
you know. So I get it, and it's a work in
No,
progress.
I
Yeah.
fully get that. I remember training for one fight. It had to be like 2014, 2015, and I was like, I wonder if I can eliminate meat. Like, can we do this? And then I started. I think it was Cecil, who played for the Milwaukee Brewers, Cecil Fielder or his son. One of the Prince. It was
Yeah.
Prince.
Yeah.
Prince.
Yeah.
He's he's a vegetarian or vegan or one like something like that. I'm like, that dude's big.
Mhm.
He must be figuring it out. Okay, so I tried it and I just watched my energy level drop so low. It was
Mm.
so hard to find the protein. I know more about protein now. I know like it's easier now to do something like that.
Yeah.
But it was like I couldn't imagine. Yeah, it was hard to keep the energy levels up. So when if somebody came in and said, "Okay, I want to change my lifestyle here,"
Mhm.
because the one thing I will say, it sounds like your aunt is she's not about treating a disease. She's about curing it
Mhm.
and getting rid of it. And that's the
Mhm.
thing that I think anybody across the board will can say about a doctor's office. They give you the medicine to help you deal with it, but not
Mhm.
necessarily cure it. So when you
Yeah.
talk about diabetes, when you talk about different things, this is the medicine that helps control it,
Mhm.
but not necessarily get rid of it. And so, and even just educating people it tends to be difficult because they're just saying the same thing like you said that they've been taught.
Yeah.
This is what they're taught. And so
Mhm.
when if someone comes in and like, look, I really want to change, what is something what's a what's a go-to drink that you would say or certain things that you would say, okay, start with this. This is this would be a good way for you to start.
Oh man. So all our drinks are pretty good. Even the
Okay.
ones that you look at what's in it, you say that got to be horrible, right? Because I created them in a way that I think it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a picky eater, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got a couple different drinks that I would say our Iron Woman, very healthy, lots of spinach, has a little peanut butter in it and things like that. But it has a lot of vitamins, protein, stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
as well, and it's good for you. You know, we have we also have one that's really light that kids may like. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's just full of berries, you know, just berries
Mm-hmm.
is the name of it. And it's really good. It's sweet with a natural sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't do any add sugar additives and
Mm-hmm.
things like that unless it's natural sugars and
Yes,
things
sir.
of that nature. So I would say, you know, all our drinks are really good and really healthy for you.
Mm.
But it depends on a person and what they can handle and can't handle. You know, some of our drinks have wheatgrass in it. Wheatgrass is very healthy for you, and a lot of people don't even know what it is. You know, but people say, "I had one of those smoothies, and I had to go to the washroom at 4 in the morning." But that system has been so congested and
Mm-hmm.
unhealthy. When they finally do get something healthy, it's like an immediate
Yeah.
effect, you
Yep.
know. And they're like, I'm coming back more often. Then there's people who just have a hard time using the restroom,
Mm-hmm.
and this is something I've never experienced. But a lot of people take weeks to use the washroom. I'm like, what? So we got natural things to make that happen.
Oh, wait.
We got things for your blood pressure. I mean, you name it, we got it. But our smoothies are all really well, and
Oh man.
people love them. So
Okay.
yeah.
So my last question on this for right now, anyway.
Mhm.
Something I tell my fighters because I tend to have young fighters, and the females they're good about eating whatever.
Mhm.
But my male fighters, it's hard to get them to eat. I'm thinking of two right now. It's hard to get them to eat something green, and I'm like, look, if you're not eating something green, certain things aren't going to work as you get older.
Mhm.
Now, so I'm basically asking you, is that a factual statement that I'm making here that if you want your blood flow to work to certain regions of your body
Mhm.
long term, should you be eating or drinking things that are green?
Well, I'll say this because certain things I can't say because I'm no doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I can just tell you the benefits of it,
Mm-hmm.
and the benefits of eating healthy would definitely take take you on a much longer path in life,
Mm.
rather than a short, harsh path that's going to be a lot of issues of you going back and forth to the doctor. You know,
Mm.
um, eating healthy is necessary because the our teeth structure is for eating plant based.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at an animal, they have a whole lot of sharp teeth that
Mm-hmm.
they supposed to eat each other, and we're not
Mm-hmm.
animals to that degree,
Mm-hmm.
and we should know how to live and eat better
Mm-hmm.
than we choose to do, than I choose to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting better. I'm proud of myself,
I
you
feel
know.
that.
So yeah.
Man, oh, I can't wait to talk. I might bring them with me. Now that I'm thinking about it, because oh yeah. But okay. So that's just one business. And what's the name of that business?
Juicy Organics.
Juicy
Yeah,
Organics. There
Juicy
we go.
Organics is juicy-organics.com. Check us out.
Oh, I will make sure that's a part of this. And you
Yeah.
make me want to go down there and get I'm not even joking. Like I like my wife makes fun of me
Mm-hmm.
because I'll just take vegetables and just and put them together and then just drink it. I don't care. It's like I know it's good for me. Let me
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like I don't care how it tastes, but you're
yeah,
describing something that tastes good.
yeah,
That's even better. That means I can
yeah,
sip on it. I don't have to just
yeah,
go whoop.
yeah.
I can enjoy that drink.
And sea
So,
moss, we have a lot of sea moss,
ooh,
different flavors, sea moss. I mean, we even got some vitamins for children. We got a lot of different stuff,
man. Okay,
that's
okay.
healthy for you. And there's some things.
So basically, come there and open your wallets. Be ready to get healthy, spend a little bit of money,
Yeah,
get healthy. I'm with you.
yeah.
I dig it. I mean, I
Yeah,
might
come check
go.
us out.
I'm like, I might go. I might have like 30 minutes to stop downtown.
Yeah,
That's
come on down.
yeah. Um, okay. The one thing that I believe for anybody in Madison
Hmm.
that follows you and that knows about you is the Black Man Coalition.
Hmm.
What what was the starting point for that for you? What
Starting point
yeah.
when we started.
Yeah. Why? What was the
Uh,
why? I see I'm a big why person.
oh man, it's a whole lot of wine.
Mm.
I would start off and say, um, I was at a point in my life
Mhm.
where I didn't want to live the way I was living,
Mm.
which was a very reckless lifestyle.
Mhm.
And I wanted to do something positive for the community. So I started seeing things on Facebook, and I
Mhm.
called a big meeting. And by the end of the meeting, everybody was hugging and teared up, you know.
Mm.
And I had one of my mentors, Michael Johnson, was like, Corey, you need to start a nonprofit.
Mm.
I'm like, man, I don't know nothing about no nonprofit. He's like, I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach you, and
Mhm.
let's do it. So he started teaching me things. To this day, I call him like, Mike, hey, what about this? And he's been good to me, but
Mhm.
a lot of people don't have that person in that corner that
Mhm.
creates that value that makes you want to do well in life and, and
Mhm.
and and respect it, right? But it also was the fact that I think about my past, and I was a person who had two scholarships, right? And the
Mm.
state took one of them from me because they didn't let me go because they just decided they didn't want me to, I wasn't going.
Mhm.
And I became bitter and all that other stuff. But I wanted to create something that people who were going experiencing the things that I once did
Mhm.
to make their experience in life a little better before they had to go through all the negative things I went through. So that came in place with our employment preparation. Because I remember a time where I was like, I ain't working no job. I don't even know how to go get a job.
Mhm.
What is a resume? Man, I don't know how to, what's that look like for me when I never worked before in my life,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So I wanted to create a space for that. I wanted to create a space to help people actually get employment at no less than
Mm.
$20 an hour. Because
Mm.
right now, if you're making less than $20 an hour, if you're not at high school living with your parents still,
That's hard to live.
man, how do you supposed to pay
Yeah.
rent? And you got to get a space nowadays. You got to make three times the rent.
Yeah.
So and then I started figuring out people were having issues with getting to work once they have the job.
Mm.
So we do transportation to and from work for up to a
Oh
year.
wow.
That's very important. That is
Mhm.
even if someone wants to do the best they can, they're ready, they're
Mhm.
amped up, but I can't get to it.
Mhm.
I can't get to it to do it. If the ball gets dropped, how do you expect someone to score?
Yeah.
And how do they win?
Yeah.
It's winning season out here, and I want to help people get to that.
I feel that.
And
Ooh.
then we learned that people were having issues with getting better jobs besides entry level.
Mm.
So that's when we came with our collaboration with Cornell University. We give out 500 free certificates from Cornell, and we have over 25 different certificates you can take. And, it takes you about 5 to 8 weeks, but that certificate, if you take one and say you're cleaning hotels,
Mhm.
and then you get your hotel management certificate, well, now you can actually manage that hotel. And what does that do for your pay range? It
Wow.
takes it from here to there,
Yeah.
or HR or project management, or I mean, you name it, your real estate. We make it happen. Feel good,
Man.
and it's been good. And yeah, that's what we're about. And then our youth baseball league, which is amazing. We got over 350 kids
Mhm.
every year. This is our fourth year, and girls, boys, every race you can think of.
Mm.
Um, has been amazing. We barbecue every Saturday in June and July.
Mm.
Um, Free food, free uniforms, free everything.
Wow.
When I started it, people were like, "You need to make the parents at least pay something so they can be invested." And I said, "Man, the parents can't afford it. and the kids shouldn't have to
Yeah.
suffer because
Yeah.
of that. So what we did is created a completely free youth baseball league, which is the only one in the country. There's not another youth baseball league that's totally free for everybody in it in the United States. So with that, we are trying to create uh, examples of what other people can do in their cities.
Mm.
I love our baseball league because for me, when I wanted to play baseball, I had to stand on busy intersections with a can, running from car to car, being able
Mhm.
to look people in the face and see if they're looking down for change or a
Mhm.
dollar, or if it's going to be a waste of my time because the light's going to change
Mhm.
soon. But I also got these guys selling bean pies on the side of me at
Mhm.
final calls who are amazing people. They treated us well, but they didn't have to,
Mhm.
or homeless people.
Mhm.
So we really had to learn a lot and how to adjust and how to understand and things like that, but that helped me with a lot of the work I'm doing today.
Mm.
But we couldn't do that in 2024, 2025. We can't have kids in intersections asking for
Yeah.
money,
No.
right? Not in
No.
Dane County, you not.
Mm-mm.
So we created a totally free youth baseball league. We have sponsorships. Each team, we get a sponsor at $5,000, and that covers everything for the team: bats, helmets, baseball hats, uniforms
Man.
with their name on the back, because we want to be able to make them feel good about
Mhm.
themselves.
Mhm.
There's pants, there's socks, their belt, everything. It's good stuff. So with that, it's been really good. It's been continuing, and it's been keeping a steady pace, which is pretty
Mhm.
cool, because I don't know if we got any bigger what we would do,
Yeah.
because it's only so many fields at the park. We want to build an indoor baseball facility so the kids can play year round, because some kids that play
Man.
baseball don't want to play basketball.
Yeah. They don't want
They
or
don't
football is
they don't
something
want to
else.
play.
Yeah.
They want to play baseball because it's a thinking sport. It's not that rough on you,
Mhm.
and things like that. But it's also the most paying sport out
It
of
is.
all the
It does
sports.
pay the most.
Yeah, so we want to keep our kids busy and keep getting that mentorship that we have
Mhm.
to offer, and also create a way that our community have a way to give back.
Mhm.
Which is what I'm doing right now, and it means a lot to
Man, that's absolutely incredible.
me.
So I want to just dive into something that I guess I've been having conversations with people about quite often right now. So, as an organization, you put a lot of faith, right, in a lot of other people
Yeah.
and in the community, right?
Mhm.
But you couldn't just lean on faith. You had
Mhm.
to actually put some action in
Mhm.
and make it happen.
Mhm.
So, how how were you able to do something that's never been done before and
Mhm.
make it last? You said 4 years now. You're going in
Yeah,
fourth,
yeah.
and I imagine every year has gotten a little bit bigger.
Mhm.
And I mean, if you're talking about an indoor baseball park,
Yeah,
it's really that means you're getting bigger.
yeah, yeah. It's
So
cost 9 million. So any donors, we looking for you.
let's go, let's go. How did you how did you go from faith to making it happen every year and knowing it's going to happen?
Mm,
What how did you go, basically I'm asking without divulging all any crazy business secrets or anything like that. How were
yeah.
you able to make that role?
First of all, I say God
Mm,
has played a huge part of my success.
mm-hmm,
Um, but the community believed in me, you know.
mm.
So that was powerful for me. You ain't gonna have me in here crying. So, but
There wasn't that. There was. I'll never try to do that.
but
Yeah, yeah.
that community believed in me, and it motivated me. When I was in the streets, I was a person who was up at 5 in the morning. I didn't go
Mm-hmm.
to sleep till maybe 1 in the morning. And every
Mm,
now and then my body is shut down and I sleep for half a day.
mm-hmm.
But I keep that same energy.
Mm,
Consistency is key. Understanding. I have so many old associates that's stuck in their ways. And I'm like, you got to learn to adjust. You got to learn how to
mm,
present yourself well. You have to change your speaking sometimes and get better at it,
mm,
and things of that nature. And they say, I'm me who I am. They should accept me for me. I say, yeah, you are who you are. You don't have to change your core. However,
Mhm.
to get in certain rooms, you have to change your exterior sometimes,
Mhm.
and you have to present yourself well. And these things matter, and
Mhm.
I just would say overall, it was the engine that I have that you can't buy or teach. It's a
Mm.
natural thing. I'm always ready to go. I had someone walk up on me the other day and they said, Corey, you're not worn out. And I was like, worn out. I'm like, for
Just
one, I enjoy
exhausted.
stress. Stress is stress.
Mm.
I love stress. I couldn't live
Mm.
without it. My whole life has
Mhm.
been stressed. So I don't know what that looks like. And it's shoot, I don't know. I couldn't do it. So for me, this is very relaxing.
Mhm.
It's fulfilling to my heart.
Mhm.
And I just really enjoy where I am. And every day I wake up motivated. I wake up
Mm.
happy. I wake up ready.
Yeah.
Um, and every day now and then there's some turbulence,
Mhm.
and you just have to be understanding. You have to learn to be a little patient. And I'm still learning as I go. I have
Mhm.
to learn how to understand people and where they're coming from and why
Mhm.
they think the way they do, and being able to adjust to that and meet them where they are has been very beneficial for me to be
Mhm.
able to do so. And I
Mhm.
think I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's super dope. So I'm about to be 45 in a couple weeks here. So we're in the same generation, right? We're in the same ballpark. So we would have went to high school together, right? Like we
Hmm.
would have. And the one thing I try to explain to these young men,
Hmm.
and you touched on it, it's not change. Don't change who you are.
Hmm.
If I imagine when you were up at 5 in the morning and not
Hmm.
going to bed at 1 a.m.,
Hmm.
was it always doing the things that were beneficial for you and the community during that time? Was it always
Oh, my
doing some
past
positive?
life.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
I
yeah.
was horrible.
Yeah,
I
okay.
was. Let me just make it clear. I was Jack. Anybody who listening, you can change your life as well. I was horrible. I was a
Mm,
guy who I had a cycle. My cycle, and everybody had their own cycle, right?
mm-hmm,
And my cycle was I would get rid of it really quick,
mm,
go donate the money to the casino,
mm,
and somebody got to pay that tab, and I'm coming to get it. And
mm.
that was just my mindset. And if
I
you
love
had it,
that.
I was coming.
Yep.
And if you were a person in the streets, you were fair game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you was a regular person living a regular lifestyle,
My
you
brother,
didn't
can
make
I
my
shake your hand on
list.
that one? I
Yeah,
try to explain that to people all
yeah.
the time.
Yeah, I never
Mm,
did bad things to good people. That was
mm,
my rule,
mm,
But if you were a person who was in the streets, is a different story. But I also
mm-hmm,
was a person who always was good to addicts. I always talked to them about why you doing this drug. You should get
mm.
off of this. This ain't good for you. I was never a person who was driven by money. Money was natural for me. That they printed every day. You just
Yeah,
got to get
man,
some.
thank you.
That wasn't the part for me. My part was learning more about what exists in life. Because all I
Mm,
knew was the box I was in.
mm-hmm.
And that probably was a Chevy riding around getting high and doing things I shouldn't have been
Yes,
doing
sir.
with something under
Yeah.
my leg that I shouldn't have had, right?
Mm,
Um, but now my horizon has been, I just
mm,
know so much more. I could
mm-hmm.
never be that person again. The knowledge I have, the support I have, the way, the way my kids look at me,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
so
Yeah.
these things are important. These things change men who have a good heart.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't have a good heart. I think most people do, but some people's heart has been so darkened
Yeah.
is unable.
To see the
Yeah,
light.
yeah, yeah.
I've so the reason why I brought that up is because I try to explain to him that whatever discipline you had to go do the things that you did,
Mm,
those are great qualities if you use them to benefit this, benefit society and benefit others essentially. And so it's like I did I did a lot of reckless things. I tell people I've learned a lot of lessons in my life. I was I've done a lot of things that I would never recommend for someone else to do.
mm, yeah,
And I tell people I'm still a shark. I still smell blood in the water. You
mm,
never that I never not want to hunt.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
there, and that's
yeah,
there for life because
yeah,
that's what I was raised with. I want to hunt.
yeah.
But now, when you hunt
Mhm,
to help build something,
mhm.
and when you hunt to help society, when you are trying to do all those things, and now it's for quote unquote good
Yeah,
to help others,
yeah,
you're still you,
yeah. You still
but you
you.
have to learn to walk a little bit different in different rooms. You have to learn how to communicate with others. And
Yeah,
I believe you said it best. Meet them where they're at. Now that could be
yeah,
taken so many different ways,
yeah.
but it's if you walk into one room, you have to be able to hold a conversation in said room.
Mhm.
Otherwise, they're not going to let you in that room.
Yeah, yeah. You're not going to get the benefits from that room.
Exactly.
You speak of hunting. I remember I used to get phone calls back in my old lifestyle. They'd be like, "Man, what you doing?" I'm hunting, and
Mm.
it wasn't.
It wasn't the same thing they were hunting.
No,
It was
no, no.
different,
I was
but it's
hunting
the
the
same.
wrong things
Yeah.
at the time, you know. And you know, people also people are very unique.
Hmm.
Everybody's different, you know. But core values
Mm.
in most individuals
Hmm.
is usually the same. You
Hmm.
know, you want to be a good parent.
Hmm.
You know, you want to be successful.
Hmm.
You want to be able to be good to people,
Yes,
and
sir.
you want to be respected, and these type of things. But what I learned is very important is to see yourself for who you are and be real with yourself.
Mm.
And then once you do that, you have to be vulnerable. And then after you're vulnerable, you begin to get you begin to learn and get the gifts that God have to offer you.
Mm.
But
Mm.
without discipline, there is no blessings.
Mm.
If you're not disciplined and you win a lottery and you're not disciplined, you overdose and you die the next day,
Mm.
right? So money isn't everything. I had someone tell me before. They said, Corey, uh, when they ask me what I do for a living, Diane, who's amazing to me, she's helped change my life. She said, I tell them I change lives for a living.
Mm.
It ain't about the money, you know,
Mhm.
and that's important,
Yeah.
and that's where I'm at in my life. I change lives for a living day to day.
Mhm.
Our financial literacy inside of Dane County Jail.
Mm.
Just for the sheriff to be able to accept someone like me with a past like mine,
Mhm.
and I am where I am today, and I'm
Mhm.
proven year to year who I
Mhm.
am. Um, to be able to go inside and teach financial literacy to women, to men, that's going to come back into our community. People
Mhm.
need to understand when someone's incarcerated, at some point, typically 80% of the people are going to come back to our
Mhm.
community. And if they're going to come back to our community, we need to give them some tools on their belt they can
Mhm.
use properly and get where they're trying to go and pay taxes and take care of their family and their kids and be a healthy part of our
Mm.
society.
That's that's so big. Everything you just talked about is so big because it's you don't know the light until it's shown to you sometimes. And it's like
Yeah.
you can know you have a good heart. You can know you have values, but
Mhm.
until someone shows you the light and just constantly does it, even when you don't think you want it, or when you, and most of the time when you believe you don't need it,
Mhm.
and is that's exactly what you're doing. I know when I, it's basically why I do what I do. It's why I choose to mentor young men. It's why I choose to run a gym. It's like if I thought about things that might make me a millionaire,
Mhm.
running a gym is not, running the type of gym I run is
Mhm.
not it. And
Mhm.
so it's like, how can I best help other people with the things that I know? And it's because of men like you. So there's a man I grew up with that I call Pops. He wasn't my dad.
Mhm.
We all call him Pops on the block. And
Mhm.
there was a group of us, all brothers, and I didn't have my father. Like the man that was in my life was not a healthy man. And
Mhm.
so Pops, you sound a lot like Pops to me. Like listening to everything you're
Thank you,
talking about,
brother.
listening to how you're willing to help. It's funny because baseball was his thing too.
Baseball is a
Like
good sport.
I'm the old, there were two men, and they're the only reason I even played baseball. I was all football, basketball, anything. I got into baseball because of them, and
Yeah.
so it's like, and the everything I got out of baseball was dope, especially when I use it to other sports. But listening to you talk about that,
Mhm,
I want you to know, like, I'm hopefully people are telling you this. It sounds like you are literally shining a light into darkness
mhm,
that these young men, young women maybe have never seen, because when you've described so much already in only 40 minutes.
mhm,
And I don't know if you realize this, you've talked about um, helping people eat differently,
mhm,
understand how they can improve their bodies, which will
mhm,
automatically improve their mind. That's
mhm.
there's enough out there on that now. You do something healthy with your body, your mind will change.
Yes, yes.
You're talking about helping uh, people get jobs,
Mhm.
not, not just get jobs. I didn't know this. I didn't know you were helping people get to work,
Oh
get
yeah,
back from work.
yeah.
I didn't like this is my ignorance now, my lack of
Mhm,
knowledge. I didn't know you help people get, and if I did know, it just didn't pop in my head. You're helping people not just get a job, get to and from, but then how they can excel at in within their company
yeah.
and make more money, which will automate. Like, first of all, if you get a certificate,
Mhm,
something that you accomplished, something that took discipline to do, something that took the time to do,
mhm,
and now you see the actual cause and effect of from such thing,
mhm,
meaning you get a better job,
mhm,
you get a raise.
mhm,
Now it's like, wait a minute, the things that I couldn't afford I can now afford. I don't
mhm,
need your help with the car anymore. I was able to buy my own car.
mhm.
Now I don't,
That's the best part of
yeah,
it all.
I don't even know. I
Mhm,
can't speak on women, but I can speak on being a man.
mhm,
When you are able to buy your own car, when you're able to pay your bills, when you can
mhm,
look yourself in the mirror,
mhm.
all of a sudden it's like this. And now when your family can look at you differently because now
Yeah,
you're being the provider,
yeah.
you're able to do more. And so, and not even just adults, but helping these kids out with the baseball. Sir, do you know how much, like, has anyone told you you the man? Like, you out here doing the thing. And like
uh,
it's a bigger deal because you had so much struggle getting here,
yeah,
brother.
yeah.
That's incredible.
Thank you, brother. We all
Like,
have our struggles,
oh, of
We
course.
all have our stories. It's what you do with it.
Mm,
You know, I rather took it positive and use it as a way to help others. God has protected me and created a path for me to do well for others. And it's been humble. And
mm.
but at the same time, you got to have some kahunas. You know, you got to have some kahunas to stand up for
Mm-hmm.
yourself and to
Mm-hmm.
stand up for others.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in a process of changing your life and you're trying to jump that gate and get on the other side, you got to let your kahunas hang,
Mm.
because if you don't, your influences that you're used to in the past, people that's trying to redirect you and not
Mm-hmm.
let you go in the right spaces you should be in, people that's going to frown upon you sometime and hold on to hate from your past
Mm.
lifestyle, things of that nature, is something you personally have to stand up to.
Mm.
And then I was telling one of my friends, I'm like, there was a time in my life where I'm going to curse, so I'm sorry, you guys, but I only thought with my dick,
Mm.
and I had
Yeah.
to tell somebody, like, it's bigger than your dick.
Mm.
It's bigger.
Mm.
It's so much more life and living and
Mm.
helpfulness and support, and just being able to bless others is a very powerful instrument, and for me to have my fiance Ashanti in my life, who has really helped me become very disciplined,
Mm.
because I don't need a bunch of friends now. I don't need a bunch of associates. I'm with her 24/7. I can't wait to get out of here and get home or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I feel
we
you.
we we're building something, and we're learning each other, and
Yes,
we
sir.
and we learn about situations. We're able to communicate about them
Mm.
and our mistakes. I
Mm-hmm.
made a few mistakes along the way, and I was
Mm-hmm.
able to communicate with her about them instead
Mm-hmm.
of being some shisty, never telling the truth type
Mm-hmm.
person, right? Um, but that make us stronger, you know, and
Mm,
more understanding and things of that nature. But when you want to get to that other side of the fence, you have to jump that fence and not hide doing it. You have to get across it. Once you get to that other
mm,
side of that fence, it's a beautiful thing, and the grass is greener.
mm,
You know, the grass is greener on the other side of that fence from what you're used to. And that
mhm.
day-to-day lifestyle doesn't have to be it forever. You know, I know people my age who's still hustling in a negative way. I'm like, you can hustle in a positive way.
Yeah, like,
You got a skill set you don't even know you have that you could bring into rooms and change
mm-hmm,
things. And you could be the lion in a room and you think you a sheep and you not.
mm-hmm.
Well, I ain't used to that. I don't know none. I ain't know nothing about none of that either. But I tell you what, I let my kahunas hang and I got to know
Yes,
about it.
sir.
You know, you put me in any room right now and I'm okay with it.
Mm.
I'm coming to say what I got to say, create what I come to create, leave my mark, and I'm getting on to the next thing I
Let's
need to
go.
do, you know, and everybody is capable of it. If I can do it, and I know I was horrible when I had a detective, his only job 8 hours a day was to follow me around. You know, and I didn't learn about that until later in life. You know, I'm like,
Mm,
whoa, you know, but everybody can truly do better in life if they
mm,
choose to. But
mm-hmm,
you have to make the choice. It's no different than a person with an addiction.
mm-hmm,
It all comes down to that individual wanting to do something different in life. And once that individual truly chooses that they want more, they'll
mm-hmm.
have more, you know. And
Man.
you have to build a support team around you. You have to have people who want to see you win.
Mm,
Um, you have to be able to identify the people that really don't want to see you win
mm,
and get them out your circle. You know,
mm,
I have people I may not talk to every day, but when I call them, they got all the knowledge in the world for me and
mm,
all the information I need, and they're willing to share it,
mm-hmm,
and they call me out on my stuff.
mm.
Like, Corey,
That's important.
yeah, be
That's
careful with
important.
the. I may make a post sometime. They're like, Corey, you better than that now. You
Mm,
know, I was like, let me take it down
yeah,
right now. You know,
yeah.
and being humble, right? My team, without my team, we couldn't do a lot of the work we're doing. You know,
Mm.
we're $2.4 million budget a year, you know, as a nonprofit. And
Wait,
I ain't never had a chance to talk about no
wait.
millions till I got in this world.
Pause.
Yeah.
Pause on that. Wait a minute. Because you just mentioned something that, as a person that's a dream in the nonprofit sector. How how did you get there?
Mm, that's a good one. Uh, you know what? Again, God. But I would say we earned it step by step, you know,
Mm,
from speaking when you should and shutting up when you should, you know, and
mm,
being humble enough to learn and creating relationships. I would say the number one thing on this earth is building relationships. You know, when I read the Bible, the Quran, you can live forever in paradise with Jehovah Witness, or the Circle Seven with Noble
mm-hmm,
Drew Ali, or any of that information I
mm-hmm,
read, right? Uh, at the end of the day, you have to be a person who wants the information. You
mm,
have to be a person who wants whatever it is that's
mm-hmm,
offering, right? And
mm-hmm.
I was going somewhere with that, but I kind of had to slip. It slipped me what I wanted to say, but um, I don't know. I think life has its ways making you who you are, and it's up to you to accept who you have
Mm-hmm.
become
Yeah,
and build on that. And
yeah.
yeah, it's
I
just
th-
it's
I
a
think the
blessing.
question I was really going for here, and
Yeah.
let me rephrase it so I can communicate it better.
Hmm.
Um, I see I see a lot of nonprofits, or I see a lot of businesses fail
Hmm.
because their business structure isn't being ran like
Oh,
a business.
that's where I was going with it.
So
The
I am,
relationships.
and I even, with my own business, it
Hmm.
took me a minute because when I started my business, when I bought my business,
Hmm.
I wasn't I had no idea about running a gym. I was paying all my bills with music. Like I was successfully in music business. You
Yeah.
couldn't. I was running that correctly, but I
Mhm.
didn't know anything about running a gym. I didn't know how to do the books on this. I didn't know about this, and this, and this. And it took me a while to get to this point. And it's funny. I was going to mention this, man. What would we do as men without these beautiful, great women that come along in
Oh,
our lives?
the women is killing it right now.
like,
Hey, men, y'all better step it up, cause
man.
listen here, the women, especially
Mm,
our sisters,
mm.
they is killing it. I mean, we have so many women who've come through our program and just winning. You know, they never look back.
Man.
You know, and don't get me wrong, we got some amazing men as well that's went through it, but they are,
Yeah, that's what I mean. When you mention your
yeah,
fiance, when I think about my wife, I know Corey's talked about it. Like
yeah,
when you have to raise your bar, and because they
yeah,
when I had Michael Johnson here,
yeah,
he talked about his
yeah,
wife, and so it's like it's it's a beautiful thing from a business structure.
yeah, yeah.
How how long did it take you to like understand it, and were there any major changes, major lessons you learned that you can pass on to other
Oh man.
business owners?
Yeah, so many lessons. You asked the question. I feel like I didn't fully answer about the
Mm-hmm.
how do
Mm-hmm.
we get to that point. Um, I think by doing the work. You know, we started off with and then I'm gonna have you ask me this question again,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to touch on that. I feel like doing the work, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and it's one step, but we didn't just start off with all our
Mm-hmm.
programs. You know, and you always hear people say trust the process.
Mm.
Man, you have to trust the
Mm-hmm.
process, you know, because your process is for you
Mm-hmm.
if you grab it,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And we started off with baseball. Then we started off helping Little John's Kitchens because they didn't have any drivers.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went over there, I didn't have any business or anything written
Mm-hmm.
down or how we would get people drive. We didn't have none of that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went over there, I'm like, well, what do you pay your drivers? And they said a number I didn't agree with. And my response was, you're gonna have to pay them at least $20 an hour. I don't know where that came from.
Mm.
I know
God.
yeah, it came right on my mouth. And he looked at me and they said, you got a lot of balls to just come in here and say that. I said, well, I'm speaking for the people. You know,
Mm-hmm.
no one's paid me to shut up. You know, and when they
Mm-hmm.
try to do it, it won't probably won't happen. They have to get
Mm-hmm.
rid of me. You know, but I'm all about the people. You know, I'm a
Mm.
person who started that, and then I started getting calls. Uh, I got them 10 drivers that day.
Mm.
So from that, my phone started ringing. I need a job. I need a job. I need a job.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, we need to figure this out. So we
Mm.
started by actually just getting people jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And then people start working one day and quitting. They're in the washroom on the stall on his cell phone, getting
Mm.
caught. You know, I said, we got to make a legitimate process
Mm-hmm.
for individuals to know that they actually want the job.
Mm-hmm.
And we started our 4-day process with our preparation to employment,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then through those 4 days, we teach so much stuff. We even role play, you know. But during that process, we can tell when people are really serious and really want it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can connect them with a job. But yeah, as far as um, all the things was one step at a time. Then the baseball. Then we actually got an office space.
Mm.
We started with Rivers Food Pantry because I created a bond with them and the Boys and Girls
Mm-hmm.
Club. And when I created that bond, they donated me a Econo van. At the time, I didn't even have a car.
Mm.
I was when I got out the streets, I was broke as hell, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And every business I ever started, when I started, I was broke, you know, every time. And I started going, they gave me that Econo van, and I'm like, why isn't it people look like me in this line? I see a
Mm.
lot of people that don't look like me that got nice
Mm.
cars, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm gonna go to the community and find the people. They said, well, how
Mm-hmm.
you gonna do that, Corey? Well, I'm from that community,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I was good to people. The people that I wasn't good to, they either knew they had it coming or I didn't know them.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that knew me and I knew, I was truly
Mm-hmm.
good to, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And through that, we started taking a week's worth of groceries to 20 families a week. That me and Ashi, just me and my partner, ourselves, we have food falling on our head while we driving, and it went from that to 80 families a week, that we took groceries to. And then I believe they have continued to program something like that, which is amazing, and then someone kept getting my ear and saying, Corey, you are a Black Man Coalition Foundation. And they kept saying it over and over. And I'm like, let me invest a little more into me and what I want to do. And then I started really digging into Black Man Coalition and what it could become and why it exists and why hold the name when other people say, hey, you thought about changing your name? No, I'm not going to change it because I want to be bold. I want to show that Black men are more than just jail bait when we have the highest incarceration rate per capita in the country and things of that nature. I want to show that we do care about our community. I want to show that we care about everybody and bring everybody together. So, yeah. So ask me that other question. My memory is horrible.
To be honest, it sounded like you basically gave the keys to it. When you started this, you had a vision for one thing. You invested time into that. You invested your resources into that. You made connections into that. From there, you were able to build additional programming into other things that you wanted to do, invest time into that, invest resources into that, make more connections. Am I sort of hitting it on the head here?
Yeah.
But you invested the time in, okay. So that's from a business structure. Most of the time when I look at things failing, that's what I'm seeing is like it's too sporadic, it's too all over, it's not focused enough. So what is one, it doesn't matter how many you name right now, but if there's at least one thing you can think of that could help somebody who wants to start a business, start a nonprofit, or do something, what's something that you could a tip or something that you can give them, or something even to avoid, that it's like people don't realize, like we do things, but 99.9% of the time we're not we're not original with it. We'll take an idea and make it unique to ourselves. But there's so many different blueprints you can just look and learn from. What's something
I've never, what's weird about me? Someone told me, like, Corey, you always been a leader. You just was leading in the wrong way. State of Wisconsin sent me to Tennessee. I ran the whole prison for everybody. I don't care what gang it was, because I monopolized the prison to the point where the warden was like, Corey, you do what you want. Don't let no riots jump off. I would say just do it. Get involved. Be okay with going into those rooms the first time and you can't stop sweating. Be okay with being embarrassed. And keep it silent. That's all I can say. I don't know.
No, that's big.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, grow as you go. Be okay with being not the smartest person in the room. I want my team to be smarter than me. I don't want no team that's not smarter than me unless I'm just on a kick, which I'm doing right now. I take people who I know was probably living an unhealthy lifestyle, and I say, hey, I'm gonna give you a job. I'm gonna train you. I'm gonna mentor you. I'm gonna pay you a nice salary, but that lifestyle got to be all the way over. And the minute I smell that you're still involved in it, I'm done with you. Because what you're not going to do is embarrass me when I'm putting trust and faith in you. I'm trying to pour into you. Don't spill the cup. But just do it. You just have to get involved. You have to be okay with being uncomfortable. Uncomfortable creates growth. Confrontation creates growth.
Yes, sir.
All the things we try to veer away from are the things I go head on now.
Yep.
It's like, what? Well, I'm in there, yeah.
That takes the one thing that, man, you would be a great speaker.
Kick the door in. The right door.
I love that.
Kick the door in.
I love that.
Kick it off the hinges.
Kick in the door.
Kick the door in, and just the benefits from it, the stress level, like this works, man. Listen here, I ain't got
Mm,
no. I love it. You know, I love getting up doing what I do. I'm up at 5 o'clock.
mm,
I'm returning emails.
mm,
By 6 o'clock, I'm cooking. By 7 o'clock, I'm serving addicts at the
mm,
addiction clinic. Uh, by 8 o'clock, I'm trying to rush down to my juice bar, my business, and get things in order.
mhm,
You know, by 9 o'clock, I'm on a team meeting. By 10 o'clock, my day begin with all my meetings and things like that. And then when I get off work, I'll probably have a dinner date with somebody, and me and my partner are going to meet them to talk
mhm.
about business and things like that. Then we get home, we'll sit down next to each other on our laptop, and then we'll be like, yeah, enough. We'll put a show on, or
Mhm.
we'll work on something together. We talk about stuff, and I day in at about 11 at night, you
Yeah,
know, and
but
I'm back at it.
what you're describing right now is, you said it already, is being vulnerable.
Yeah,
Because what vulnerability does is, our ego can't live in that space.
it can't. It's no
Eh,
good.
yeah, our ego cannot survive. We can't be emotionally attached so much because our ego isn't involved as much. Like, it's great to be
Yeah,
passionate about it. It's great to be emotional about things, but if if you can't make the turns and pivot and see where things are going, and make those moves in business,
yeah,
your ego is too involved. And like what you're describing, you described it with your fiance. You described, I'm listening to you describe it in business. I'm listening to you describe it in every aspect of your life.
mhm,
Being vulnerable,
yeah. It's
and
key.
like going towards stress, being uncomfortable, it's
Mhm,
causing the right kind of pain. Because no matter
yeah,
what, we're gonna have pain. Imagine if we're sitting at home, like, and you're already talking about eating healthy, you're talking about doing those things, and like, I'm a big dude. I train seven. I'm in my gym training 7 days a week. So I'm
mhm,
working. So I understand it. If I sat on the couch if I sit down on the couch
mhm.
watching TV, eating whatever I want for 7 days in that week,
It's
I'm gonna
over.
have pain. I'm gonna have pain, but that's not pain I want. If I have a life that doesn't have any kind of stress in it,
Yeah,
I'm gonna deal with pain in another way. It's gonna be a mental torture.
yeah,
What you're describing right now where is what's needed in our society. It's like, no, you want discomfort, you want pain, you want to be uncomfortable, you want to be vulnerable, you want to be able to have all these things. It's scary, but we come out, we that's where we grow, that's where we become better
that's where you
individuals.
go
And as
like
men,
this,
yes,
you know.
as
And
men we get better. That, like,
yes,
that's we can now provide, protect, do all the things that we're supposed to do as men and become better. And what's funny is that we show our teeth less than, but we're more dangerous men then.
yeah, stay
Because,
dangerous.
yeah,
Yeah,
because we can not only give you a look, we can not only ball up our fist, but now we can communicate with you.
yeah,
You can't be,
yeah,
we're not just physically strong. Our intellect now can
yeah,
handle any situation. We can now emotionally navigate anything. So you can't pull us out of our comfort zone. Because, and this is a nice plug into the next question I'm going to ask,
mhm,
the moment we allow ourselves to get emotional over what someone else said or did to us, we are not in control of ourselves. They are
mhm,
now in
mhm.
control of us, because we
Yeah,
allowed them to dictate us based on our ego, our pride, and everything else. And I'm not saying as a man not to have pride. What I'm
mhm,
saying is that your ego shouldn't be leading the way so much that you
man,
can pull, that someone else can pull your card essentially, and
yeah,
pull you off. If I'm gonna speak just in general, pull you
yeah,
off your square where you're not the king anymore,
yeah,
sitting on your crown.
yeah.
So what moment, granted, I understand there were probably multiple moments, but the one that you know for a fact that did the job, that was like, yep, this was it, where you were like, I have to be in control of me. I am now controlling my machine. I am now controlling my mind. I'm not going to let anything swerve me off this path. This is where I'm walking. This is what I'm doing. When did you
Yeah.
learn how to control you?
When I used to teach at AODA treatment facility for 80 individuals,
Mhm.
24-hour programming. And I always used to say you can't control your life, but you could manage it.
Mm,
You know, and for me, I really knew when um when I had to when I didn't have any false pride.
Mm,
Uh,
mm,
yeah, because I got people who would tell you I would never cry
mm,
because all they seen was
mhm,
the toughness in me,
mhm,
rough Corey,
mhm,
whatever name they wanted to label me as, you know. But for me, I get teared up over joyful things.
mm,
I get teared up over those steps in my life
mhm,
I rose.
mhm,
When I see somebody I mistreated,
mm.
and they're like, I'm proud of you.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
But when you get rid of that false pride, you become pure. When you become pure, you start remembering the things your grandma taught you.
Oh.
And um, you become something that's untouchable mentally,
Mm.
and God make you untouchable physically. No, no, you become a blessing.
Mm.
That's what I am.
Yes, sir, you are. Yes, sir, you are. That's that's huge right there, man. Like, mm, that's powerful.
Yeah,
Thank you for everything that you're doing, man. Like, it's you're changing lives every day. And that is so huge and so needed in our community and just needed in general for humans.
yeah,
It's just more people to care about others and do for others and want to share share and help others and put that first. And so the so people understand when I look you in your eye and I see you becoming emotional and like I'm hearing it,
yeah. Hmm.
people think that makes them weak. And to me, that just makes you that much stronger because I never seen the hunter leave the eyes.
Hmm.
Like it's still there.
Eye of the tiger.
Yeah, it's still there. Like I like it's and it's like I tell people, like, though hunters can see other hunters. Like I
Yeah,
see it. It
yeah,
never went away. It's
yeah,
just like I also see the light. Better yet, you know what? I won't even call it the hunter. What I'll say is I can see the darkness in other people
yeah.
because I know the darkness that lies within
Yeah,
me. And what's beautiful is that it's not that the darkness goes away. We just choose to see the light.
yeah,
We choose to live in that light. Like
yeah,
my my kids make fun of me, man. If my son brings home an A, like I'll shed a tear. Like you don't understand how big that is. Like, man, when they
yeah,
tell me they did something, like I'm like, when my daughter started her own business, I was like
yeah.
tears are coming down because I'm like,
You did
you're
that.
you're 21 and you did it. It took me so long to understand how to do this
Yeah,
legally. And you
yeah,
like it's so powerful to see the light. And it's like,
yeah. It's a beautiful blessing,
man, it's
man. It's nice, and
seeing you do the thing, man. This is amazing, man. Like
but even when
it's
you do it, not to cut you off, but even when you do it, I have a person who's amazing to me, and she said, Corey, don't let them dim your light.
mm,
And
mm,
even when you're doing it and you're on top of whatever you think you are,
mm-hmm.
you have to stay disciplined
Yes.
to continue, or
Yes.
it'll come to an abrupt ending before you know it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and you have to be humble. And even for me, some of the things I had to learn was I had to truly learn how to treat people.
Mm,
I had to learn how to treat my team. I'm still learning
mm.
because I'm rough.
Yeah.
When I want you to get it done,
Yeah.
don't drop the ball.
Yeah.
I got a problem with that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I also had to learn how to communicate what I wanted in a professional way.
Mm-hmm.
and all that was a process,
Mhm.
but I had a team that was strong enough to understand and know I was a work in progress.
Mhm.
My team today, they get me,
Mhm.
and sometimes we bump heads, and I
Mhm.
told them, confrontation is key,
Mhm.
and say what you want to say, and say it respectfully, and I'll do the
Mhm.
same. But we get stuff done because we're pushing at each other and we're going at it and we making these accomplishments. And they're like,
Mhm.
how'd you get a collaboration with Cornell? I called them. And you know what I did? They said, Corey, tell us about you. I was
Mm.
a crook.
Mhm.
Ain't no sugarcoat nothing who I
Mhm.
was,
Mhm.
but I tell you who I am today as well.
Mm.
I'm a person who making a difference. I'm a person who enjoy being there for others. I'm a person who has value, who I get at least 2 to 3 calls a day of
Mhm.
someone saying, man, you make us all feel like we can do it. To know somebody who is really in the streets like us
Mhm.
and worse than us and be doing what you're
Mhm.
doing, I'm like, I could dig it.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling, So every step of the way has been another piece of armor on me as I
Ooh.
continue,
Ooh.
and as you said, I like the hunter word because you have to stay hunting.
Mm.
You need to put that armor on you to protect yourself.
Mhm.
Especially as a black man.
Mhm.
I'm proud to be a black man.
Mm.
It means the world to me.
Mm.
I'm proud of my last name. You Google my last name, it's gonna say caretakers for Mother Mary. You know, uh, I am my family, my kids, my fiance, the people at the addiction clinic, you know,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
trust the process,
Ooh.
do the work, stay disciplined, and love the people, all sisters and brothers.
Man, that's amazing. That's absolutely
Yeah,
amazing, sir.
yeah,
Brother, you doing it, man. Like it's yeah. I don't I don't have any other words than other than you're absolutely amazing and thank you for coming on here. Thank you for sharing and we'll make sure that we like all the websites are out, man, because what you're doing is so big and I didn't know you were into so much stuff. When I reached out, I knew about a few things. This is incredible, man. Like you are absolutely incredible and I like
yeah.
it's
You should see what we're trying to do for the future of BMC.
well, if you can share, by all means
Oh
share. But
yeah, I would love to share.
I assume most people can't
I know
share
I'm an
that.
open book.
Oh man,
I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm sharing everything. If you do it before me, get it.
okay.
So bmcdc.org. Um, we are in process right now. We have a big meeting on the 20th that we're trying to put our Cornell program in the whole Department of Corrections prison system and offer
What?
free certificates to everybody incarcerated, men and women. But what that does is help us build those relationships
Mm-hmm.
prior to people getting released to our community.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can help them get housing, employment,
Jobs, man.
and things of that transportation before they're even released. So they have a
Mm-hmm.
plan. They don't have to go back to Joe Smo who just want to
Mm-hmm.
say, "Hey, I got this for you." Um, they got it. They're situated. They're coming into our community with tools in their belt and they're ready
Mm-hmm.
to use them.
Mm-hmm.
We're also looking right now, if you're on a bracelet, you can go to a food pantry or somewhere, other nonprofits as well, and you can volunteer. I was a person who once did it. And when I was doing it, I bought one of them cans of hairspray. Had a cell phone in it, shoot a bottle in the washroom. I couldn't wait
Yeah.
to get to work to volunteer. But I was jacked up at the time. I was in survival
Mm-hmm.
mode. But what we're trying to do is if you come, so if you volunteer for 8 hours, you get a day off your sentence.
Mm.
So we're doing a change in law right now, which is going to be rough. Um, because of things happening in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But what we want to be able to do is you come to our space on the Capitol at One North Picnic. We have laptops, headphones, computer
Mm-hmm.
desks, hire educators. And you come to our space and you spend 8 hours getting educated you get a day off your sentence.
Mm.
That's something we're looking to do as well.
Mhm.
Um, but we're also looking to do our housing. Right now, we're raising 30 million because the way low income housing right now is happening is not very beneficial to the people.
Mhm.
And what I say about that is once you put people in a state of mind where they're stuck,
Mhm. Yep.
two, if they do decide they want to grow and do better, they are pretty much making too much money to live there
Mhm.
anymore, right?
Mhm.
But we want to create a space where your nephew who's sleeping in your basement can have a place to live, or people
Mhm.
sleeping in their car but going to work every day
Mhm.
have a place to live. People who are incarcerated getting released to our community have a place to
Mhm.
live. People who have turned 18 and age out of a juvenile facility
Mhm.
have somewhere to live, or just an individual who graduated college in another state, got a job here and can't afford our housing market,
Mhm.
right? We
Mhm.
want to create an atmosphere of individuals where they go from individual housing
Mhm.
to one bedroom housing.
Mhm.
Um, and the rent is really cheap, right? So you got 750 rent and 950 rent. No, 750 and 650 rent,
Mhm.
right? You can live up to 3 years. In 3 years, we're gonna work on your child support issues. We're gonna work on rebuilding your relationship with your family or your kids. We're going to work on your credit score. We're gonna make sure you got 2 years of taxes did. We're gonna make sure you got that job for over
Mhm.
20 an hour. We're gonna transport you to and from work, even if you have a vehicle, right? We're gonna make sure that we have the programs necessary and the case managers for you in case you do need a little extra,
Mhm.
help or whatever it may be or support. We want to be able to get you in a position where after 2 to 3 years in our space, you can be a homeowner in Dane County.
Man.
This is what we want to create. This is what we will create, and this is what we need the support of our community to create. This is going to be life changing for a lot of individuals.
Mhm.
It's going to lower our recidivism rate, people who get out and go back to prison within three
Mhm.
months. It's going to lower our crime rate. It's going to change some things, which lessens the security for a lot of people jobs,
Mhm.
but it's going to change a lot of things. And I just feel like it's time, and it's needed. And we're also doing a $10 million endowment to secure success with our housing because
Man.
we're not thinking about a bunch of dollars. We're thinking
Mhm.
about the people. So we're not charging a lot for rent. People say, well, how
Mhm.
do you survive at that cost? They could too, but they just about a dollar.
Mhm.
So this housing is truly necessary. We are looking to do that and have it done in 2026,
Mhm.
2027. One of those years it should be up and going.
Mhm.
Um, and then we're also creating a series right now,
Mhm.
which is about a lot of the stuff we're talking about and a
Man.
process of doing so and so on. So we got a lot of irons in the fire,
Yeah, I see.
and we ultimately want to put BMCF in multiple cities all over the United States where we can offer our free baseball league. We can offer our financial literacy. We can offer our employment. We can offer our transportation. We can offer our housing. We can offer all the things necessary to help people who are truly in the state that I once was in
Man.
win,
Yeah.
and that's what it's about. And that's what BMCF is about.
Man, you let me know when you're ready to move from baseball into some MMA and kickboxing stuff, man. Like, let's,
I looked that
mm,
up. So
man.
they got in Las Vegas, they got youth MMA.
Mm-hmm.
And
They
I
in
talked to
Milwaukee
him.
too.
I didn't know that.
So they
See,
have in Milwaukee what they do is they just eliminate for MMA they eliminate all headshots.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You
yeah,
can only go to the body. You can only kick, and then you can do takedowns and different submissions.
yeah.
So they have that in Milwaukee. There's nothing. There's nothing like that in Madison,
Hmm.
and I'm moving into a bigger facility, and that is
Let's do it.
something I want to do because the mentorship program I have, I work with Grow
Hmm.
Grow
Hmm.
Academy and work with those young men, and they learn wrestling, they learn boxing, they learn kickboxing, and they're learning Brazilian jiu-jitsu right now.
And they're learning
But
discipline.
yes, but I only get them a couple times a week, and I only have them for somewhere between 3 months to 6 months, depending how
Mhm.
long they're. I it's it's I don't get my hands on them like more, and
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
to because
yeah.
that's where the discipline really takes an effect.
Hmm.
But I know it's helping. Like Corey actually coaches one of the kids that was one of my. He was a great boxer,
Yeah.
and knowing he's doing well in school now, and knowing
Hmm.
he's playing ball for Corey
Yeah.
over there, like
Mhm.
it's that. I was super excited to hear about that. So yeah,
Yeah.
we should definitely talk more about that
Let's
because
do it.
I'm I'm starting to really walk deep into that realm where you're already established and where you're already at, and like
I love it.
I'm ready to walk deeper into that, and I have the same mind frame. It doesn't it doesn't upset my wife. My wife just sort of gives me looks sometimes because I'm like, I'd rather do it. I'd rather have kids come in here and not pay anything
Yeah.
than for them to
Yeah.
be where they could be.
You
And
got.
I'm like, I'm right, and I'm
Hmm.
right on like all fish hatcheries. So I know that Leopold area, like I know
Yeah.
what can,
Yeah.
and it's like I'd rather get them in here
Yeah.
than being somewhere doing something that they
God gonna
are doing.
bless you regardless.
So
You gonna get your
yeah, I'm not.
blessings. They gonna come
It's
to
not worried
you.
about it. I'm not worried about
I
the
want to.
financial end.
Let's
So it's
do
like,
it.
yeah, let's
I
talk.
want to.
Like,
So what are the two things I want to jump into as far as sports? And I got to just had a big meeting with MMSD and the juvenile
mm-hmm,
facility and things we're looking to do for
mm-hmm,
mentoring our youth as well. Um, I also am looking into hockey. Uh, a lot of our youth can't afford to play hockey
yeah,
because the equipment is so expensive.
yeah,
So what I'm looking to do is create a way that they can get into hockey, get the
man.
training, and get the process going where they start to learn it and do well in it,
You,
and they can continue.
you
You
know what's
know,
gonna happen? You get
what's that?
that's think about what it takes to actually do hockey from a
Yeah,
physical aspect.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You have to learn how to move fast.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be agile. You have to be strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What we do with basketball? What we do with football?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you something about that. You know something.
We gonna
As
take
I
over
as
that
I as I
too.
heard someone once say, uh, we have a DNA makeup
Mm,
that's special, right?
hmm.
But that's not saying other kids not special. So
Yeah.
even when we do our hockey, we want to have Spanish kids, white
Oh
kids,
man,
black kids, mixed kids. We want to be able to
it's gonna be
offer
so
it for
amazing.
everybody because everybody don't have the opportunity to be able to afford what it takes to get into it.
Yeah.
And it's really about creating a way for our youth
Hmm.
to get into things that's going to keep them
Mm.
occupied and mentally invested
Yes, sir.
and be able to help them get the things that a lot of them are not getting at home because the mother has to work two jobs,
Hmm.
the dad is incarcerated.
Hmm.
Things like this really hinders a child from getting where they're trying to go,
Mm.
and we want to be able to create ways that they can get there.
Yeah.
I had parents call on baseball. We'll pick the kids up and bring them to baseball, and they're like, Corey, I usually come and I just need some help this week.
Hmm.
We got you. That's what it's about.
Man.
And the parents come out to baseball and shouting another kid name they never knew before. Parents becoming friends, kids becoming friends, and we're not just stuck on one side of town. We're working with kids all over Dane County, and it's becoming like a fraternity, so to say,
Yeah.
and these kids are going to know each other for years to come, especially when they've been playing together and around each other for
Hmm.
4 years straight. And that continues,
But that's how we grew up, though.
Yeah,
Like you, we. It's something that I know. Me and my brothers, we talk about all the time. It's like if I messed up over here,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
pops may be chewing me out or saying something because it's like we're all in the same block. So some and it's the community, it's the village that helps raise everybody. So
Yes.
you're creating a village.
I'm trying my
You're
best
man,
to.
brother. That's
Yeah.
man.
I feel good about it when we're in 15 different states
Ooh,
and we are actually operating at a high level and impactful. And I think then I'll be ready to go my separate way and see that continue, I think
Hmm.
is will be a fulfiller for me in
Yes,
life.
sir. Well, if you get hockey going in Dane County, one of my fighters played high school, played hockey all through high school. He swears by
Mm.
it, and he graduated from UW Madison. So it's like he'll just come help because that's how much he loves hockey. He'll just come do it.
Well,
So it's
I
like,
need to know him because he know a lot more about it than I
yeah,
do.
yeah. So I said, like, you let me know when you're ready because I don't think anywhere in Madison they have hockey. I know in some prairie they have hockey.
Middleton, they got them a
Oh,
few
they, okay.
places.
So
Yeah,
Middleton,
yeah.
okay.
Madison too over there, all four of them. They have it in
Really?
a few places.
Oh
We
man.
just
So
don't know
yeah,
because
okay,
we not
yeah,
involved.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
I just knew about some prairie. I didn't.
Yeah,
I should have assumed Middleton. I should have known that. But
yeah.
yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming out here, man. I appreciate you
Thank you.
very much, brother.
Thank you,
Thank you
brother.
for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable, man.
Thank you.
Like that's thank you for everything that you're doing, man. It's such a blessing. So
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
we'll let you get back to that life, man. You doing the thing. You control you, baby. We out.
All right
Peace.
now.
Man. That's
Good interview, brother. Oh, got me tearing up on here.
yeah, I don't, I never try to do that, but man,